everything you need for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. And a good morning. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. It's an open line hour, whatever you'd like to chat about at 989-752-6111. I did pull an article down from the Detroit Free Press I wanted to talk about for a minute here. They did a survey. There's been a national survey, and part of it has to do with the 250th celebration of America. And one of the questions was the number one American brand. What brand do you see as the number one American brand? And the quintessentially American brand, according to this survey, is the Ford Motor Company. And because of that, Executive Chair Bill Ford has asked Americans to put aside their differences and unite to help build a stronger future. It's a nice ideal. I'm not sure it can happen, but it certainly is a nice ideal. It's interesting. Ford said, quote, "We are still America's number one auto producer and top employer. As we look to the next 250 years, I believe the future is incredibly bright, but it hinges on us coming together as a nation. We must heal our divisions and keep pushing forward, just as we always have. Ford will be there serving the nation and helping build a stronger future." It was an interesting survey, and the other companies behind it, in number 2 through 7 slots, you could probably guess. Number 2, as the most American companies, is Apple, followed by the Coca-Cola Company, then Walmart, Amazon, McDonald's restaurants, and in number 7 was General Motors. I would probably not have put Apple on the list because almost everything they make is overseas, even though they're an American company. I understand that, but I probably wouldn't have put them on the list. The questions, there were an interesting range of questions. What do you love most about America? What problems do you want America to solve? Is America the greatest country in the world? What is the most American food? And what was interesting, when this was asked of Canadians to look at America and pick the most quintessential American brand, they ranked McDonald's at number 1. But I am intrigued by the questions, and the response is not here for all of them, but what do you love about America, most about America, and what problems do you want America to solve? These are all, they're very relatable questions to today. I think if I were taking the survey and they asked me, what do you love most about America, I would probably say our freedoms. And then what problems do you want America to solve? I would probably say our divisions and our cost of living. Is America the greatest country in the world? You bet. I stand by that. And what's the most American food? I don't know if I would say a hot dog or a burger. Probably a hot dog, because it's probably more American than the burger, which has come over from other places. So that's the way I view it. Who knows? All right, got a caller waiting, so let's go to our phones this morning, and we'll talk to Albert in Freeland. Albert, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Doing well. Hope you are.
Hey, I'm grateful for each day for what it brings.
You got it. Amen.
Yeah. Mr. Lewis, have a question. And the way communications are, it's almost instantaneous around the world, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. Let's say on our presidential day for voting, one state on the east side starts at midnight or something very early, correct?
Some can, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why doesn't the rest of the states start instantaneously if that one starts? What I'm trying to say is instead of having a time shift from the East Coast all the way to Alaska or Hawaii, I don't think that's quite fair.
Well, what you'd have then is you'd have people having to vote in the middle of the night.
What I'm trying to say is if...
Well, I understand what you're trying to... You'd like to see them all done, start and finish at the same time, no matter what their time zone is, so that everything is done
Correct.
in unison. It's not...
Correct.
It's the way that the country is and the way the time zones are set up. It's just not practical. What's happened is that let us take the normal condition where most places start voting at 7 or 8 in the morning, and they end up by 8 o'clock at night, typically, if that's average. But what has come about is that the major news sources in the country have decided not to release numbers until the last place votes. And that may be the exception, may be Hawaii because it's so far out. But typically, when New York completes voting, California doesn't hear about it. It used to be they did, and it suppressed their voter turnout because why bother to vote? We already know what the result is and all of that stuff. But there has been in recent years a movement to not report numbers until, at least in the contiguous United States, everybody has voted.
I think that'd be very equal to one and all then from one side of the country to the other.
Well, but there's a big time difference. I mean, you get 3 hours to the coast, but Hawaii is probably 5 or 6 hours different, and it's just, I understand what you're trying to get at and what you'd like to see happen. I just think in the practicality of it, it probably isn't going to happen.
Then it's sad if you lived like in Hawaii, because why should I vote? Everybody else knows what's going on. It's pretty much done then, right?
Well, it could be for them if they get numbers before they've done voting, yeah. I mean, I could see, maybe as a standalone, Hawaii because of its uniqueness and Alaska because of its uniqueness in time zone. Maybe they might want to start earlier and end earlier so that they are within the window. But I don't see the rest of the country doing it, to be honest. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's an interesting idea, but I don't see it happening.
Okay.
All right.
It's nice to see people concerned about these illegal people in the U.S., and they want to confront ICE and fight them. I would say to these individuals, you want to support them? How much money do you think the U.S. is supporting these illegals?
Oh, millions.
It
costs a fortune.
Yes, I guess I would say to them, if you want one, we're going to take your Social Security or your income from you, and you support them for that duration.
Oops. All right. Good enough, Albert.
Hey, thank you for listening to me, sir. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
989-752-6111, the number to call to be in touch with us.
Gotta go.
From following
what Christ taught in the New Testament.
Whoa. Who are these groups that you're talking about?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you say it?
Who are these groups that you're talking about? What group of Christians against what group of Christians?
Not particular groups, but individuals, put it that way.
Oh, there's always that, yeah.
Okay. Well, in one of the main prayers, it says, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us."
Yep.
We're asking God to forgive us because we're all sinners, and to show us mercy. And in return, we will forgive other people their sins and show them mercy. Now, Christ taught in the New Testament, after loving God, the second most thing is love each other as God loves us. And love your neighbor as you love yourself. And do good to those that hate you. I mean, there's on and on that Christ taught in the New Testament. Now, there are people that are saying that Christians cannot follow their freedom of religion to practice their religion, to follow what Christ taught.
Well, I don't know who these people are. There are a few, but we're not talking about, major people trying to stop Christianity. It's not happening.
When Christians tell other Christians they're not allowed to protect their neighbor, they're not allowed to have a sanctuary city, they're not allowed to love one another and show mercy
I'm sorry.
to one another.
Whoa, stop. Let us not confuse politics with religion. Religion is religion.
Listen,
you have beliefs.
Donald Trump wants the Ten Commandments in all the schools. You can't say that he can talk about religion and other people can't talk about religion.
He can talk about it. He just can't enforce that rule because the courts knocked it down. So let's keep it on a religious basis, not a political basis. I mean, if this whole thing is all about Donald Trump, we're wasting our time.
I'm saying that some Christian people are stopping other Christian people from following their religious beliefs that's in the New Testament.
I don't see anybody telling any Christian you can't follow your beliefs.
When people try to protect their neighbor and us attacks them, they are absolutely stopping them from following their religious beliefs.
You can have that belief. I'll choose to disagree with you. So there we are. That's what freedom is all about. We can disagree. I don't know any Christians
talking about having a sanctuary city in Bay City. No,
they're not. They're talking about making it what they called a welcoming city, and they've pulled the mayor pulled that revolution.
Financially, we could get sued, or who knows? That could bring a lot of trouble on our city because we stand out too much.
It isn't going to. I don't think it's going to happen. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Right, but nevertheless, that is stopping Christians from following what's taught by Christ in the New Testament.
All right, Gene, we'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye now. Let's go to Midland and talk to Tim this morning. Tim, good morning.
Good morning. That's an interesting one to follow there. I wish people just lead with what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, it was a backdoor insult to Trump.
You preface everything with religion and throw religion at it. It's like, what's the point? I mean, where are we going with this? Oh, Bay City and okay. I mean, I don't. It just convolutes the whole thing. It's like, just come on. What's the point?
Yep.
What is your point? Let's get to the point here. So, anyways, I've been really trying to avoid this Iran thing. Doing my best, but I just can't. it's a disaster, Art. And his administration, I mean, you got three people: the Secretary of War had to change the Department of Defense, Secretary of War. That's another conversation. Secretary of State and Major DeFerman himself, the president. All three different messages coming out of all three of them. I mean, what are we doing there? Three of them. I can't get a coherent answer out of any of them. One of them saying boots on the ground. One of them saying no boots on the ground. One of them saying maybe boots on the ground. What's the end state of
you brought up the interesting, and I said this the other day. What's done is done. We've already done the attack, so there's no point in debating it. You can debate it, but what's the off ramp? What's the end game? And I will say this to you: if in a week or two, three maybe on the outside, they've done the deed and Iran is suppressed and we get on and the Straits of Hormuz are open and the oil's flowing again and all of that, then so be it. If it drags on any length of time, and particularly if they even think about putting a boot on the ground, it's going to be real negative for the Republican administration this year.
Well,
now here's the other thing about it. In reality, we already have boots on the ground, not fighting boots, but intelligence boots. And it's because of them and because of that intelligence that they were able to take out the leadership so swiftly. So, they're not boots with guns, but they're boots with minds and obviously ability to observe and report. So we do have boots, if you will, on the ground, but different kinds.
What he's talking about is enforcement of some type. And I'm going to tell you, it's like I played my game over there. I've been over there. I spent 3 years of my life over there in the Middle East. And I'm 100% opposed to this because I've seen what's come out of Iraq and Afghanistan, and I was part of it.
That's why I say, what's the end game? I mean, if indeed there is a regime change, and the country moves to a more but not complete democratic model, I don't expect them to be a democracy.
But what's going to be the forcing behind that?
Well, that's the question. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But I think you're getting a look inside Donald Trump's mind now. It's complete chaos. There's nothing going on. It's like a squirrel running around in there. And I want to tell you, I was optimistic for Trump. I mean, he ran on staying out of this.
Yeah, I know that.
You can pull up 100 quotes from him.
Yeah.
I will stay out. I'm not into regime change. Well, is that a lie? I mean, I would call it a lie. But I mean, now you're against Donald Trump and you hate this country. And
like all things in politics, there will come a reckoning, and that reckoning starts this year with the midterms, and we'll see how the public feel.
I think you're going to see I said this even before Iran. I think it's going to be a landslide, and this is going to really push it.
Maybe. Yep. And history tells us that the party in power usually loses power in the midterms.
It's part of the game, though. Part of the theater we get to see as the Americans, that we think there is actually a democracy here and there is something actually going on. But, I mean, we voted this guy to stay out of these wars. The majority of the country is against this. No, we're still in it anyway, so they're okay, great, democracy, thank you very much. So, anyway.
You got to remember this. You're not a pure democracy. You're a representative.
I know, we're a republic. I got it.
Yep.
I got it. We're a republic. We're elected officials that say they're going to do certain things, like stay out of war.
Yeah. Well, but, how many elected officials from both parties say things and then get elected and then don't do them? I mean, it's universal.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
You're guilty, proven innocent to me. I've taken that. You're guilty of being a politician until you prove yourself innocent to me.
Interesting. All right. Good enough, Tim.
All right.
Hey, have a good one.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Yep, bye.
All right, Sean, hang on. We'll get to you next after these notes here on the Art Lewis Show.
For 60 years, West
All Hi, we're back with you. Back to our phones in Bay City. We find Sean waiting for us. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good morning, Art. Gene, the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Meaning, if you don't forgive, exactly. Forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive others. So we're asking the Lord to forgive us as we forgive other people.
Yeah.
Never throw stones when you live in a glass house, Gene. We're all sinners, and we should never project onto other people. That's just sick. But I think it's a great example of your last two callers of Trump derangement syndrome, how people can just be, you could put the greatest thing, and then if you put Trump's name on it, they just freak out. Tim, you understand that the Iranian regime wants to kill you, right? They want to kill me. They want to kill Art. They want to kill everybody in this country. And our government's number one priority is to protect its citizens. Right?
Yep.
So what's your plan, Tim? That would be my answer. And just to throw this out at you, quoting John Adams from 1798, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. Okay? Now, I'm tired of the Trump derangement syndrome. Bay City, Sanctuary City. Look, Sanctuary City, if you look up the laws and federal laws.
They haven't used that term, and I want to caution people
from
saying that they have not used it.
Haven't used the term because they like to use terms so you don't think that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Point being is if you don't help the government, you're obligated to do that, and you don't report what you're supposed to be reporting. That is an act of insurrection. Okay? You don't get any funding then, and rightfully so.
Yeah, it's not an act of insurrection, but funding could be
No, it's
crippled.
an act of insurrection. That's, again, don't believe me. Or do your homework. Look up what an act of insurrection is. If you're not calling the police when you got the ICE, when you got the dude that's illegal sitting in your jail, right, and they call you up, and you go, nope, we're not going to help you out, you just disobeyed federal law. That is an act of insurrection as outlined in just read it.
All right.
That's all you got to do.
Okay.
But these people, stop with the Trump derangement syndrome. You discredit yourself when you can't have a good faith conversation, right? Both of them last two people, it didn't matter who was what. It all came back to Orange man bad. Orange man bad. No borders are good. Let's let everybody in.
I didn't hear that.
No,
you're stretching it a little now. You're stretching it a little.
I'm not saying they did. Let me be clear. I'm not saying
you did, though.
Those individuals did. Then I misspoke.
That's what you're implying.
Someplace else.
That's what you're implying.
No, this is the Democratic Party, Art. Let everybody in. Boys can be girls. Girls can be boys. Waste all the money. Let's take a look at Minnesota. Do you know that in 2017, Minnesota gave $3 million to autistic help for kids? That's how much was there. Today, it's $340 million, most of which all go to the Somali kids. Right? I'm tired of the Trump derangement syndrome.
All right.
Stop it.
Gotcha. All right, Sean.
Have a good one, buddy.
Bye-bye now.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back. We'll get to Jonathan and Mark when we return after these notes.
Hi, I'm Stan.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and Jonathan is in St. Charles. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Well, it's kind of sticking on our topic today that I've been hearing about everybody being so upset about our strikes on Iran.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Still a little confused on some people being upset. I understand people are upset with Trump, leading these strikes with Israel. But at the same time, we've given diplomacy a chance. How many times? I mean, we've been in a Cold War with Iran for 47 years since they took over. Yeah. So I mean, I understand people being upset about us sending troops in. People are worried about us having boots on the ground there. I totally understand it. But, we're only a couple days into these strikes here, and I see a lot of people throwing blame straight at Trump. He's a warmonger. He's this, he's that, But in the same sense, we're having attacks here in America, not nearly, like what's going on in Israel and stuff. But, the Islamification of what's going on, this is going pretty crazy. And these mullahs in Iran are, chanting death to America. I mean, are we supposed to wait for them to have ballistic missiles before, they're already telling us they had enough nuclear material to make 11 nukes when they started off with these.
Listen, I agree with a lot of what you said. I still, though, want to know what the end game is. I don't want another Iraq or an Afghanistan.
I totally agree with you. My dad was there in Afghanistan for 3 years. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be drawn out into a forever war, but if these kinetic strikes that we have, in a couple weeks, and we can weaken, and eventually, I think it will turn into a regime change, even though that's not what our initial goal was.
Well, it's already happened because the head of the regime is gone. But
the
question is what comes
Israel
next.
Took out the other clerics the other day.
So it depends what's next.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I mean, I am 50-50 about it. I mean, I've loved what Trump has done so far, but I mean, it's only a couple days into this. I mean, I can't say people, we can't just put our foot down and say Trump's a warmonger and going to draw us into a forever war. I mean, presidents have been striking the country.
There are certainly those who view it that way, though.
Yes, sir.
So,
but that was my thing. Yes, sir.
Good. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Take
you
care.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. And let's go to Deckerville and talk to Mark. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, my thought on I blame actually local media and legacy media for not putting out there the correct information or painting the Iraq war or Iran war as something that it's Trump and painting it in a negative way. If you remember, there were thousands of people that were going to be slaughtered by Iran, for supporting whatever they were supporting. And they killed 38,000 innocent people. And that's why one of the...
Yeah, just for protesting.
Because they were protesting. Yeah, but you never heard that on legacy media or local news.
No, yes, you did.
Oh, that's why we went in, though. But that was one of the reasons why we went in. And then another reason
Wait. No, just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you get away with that because the fact
that you tell me what station you heard that on.
I heard it on all of them. The fact that they massacred all those people has been highly publicized.
Then what's the issue of going in? Then why is there an issue going in there and taking out the head of the leader? If everybody knew that information, why is everybody against them protecting
Because
innocent
everybody
people?
has their own view of whether you should march into a country and take it over or bomb it into oblivion. People have a right to their opinion. But don't confuse that.
But that's not talked about.
What
the reason gone in, one of the reasons going in there is not talked about as much as it should be.
Well, as much as you'd like to hear it. What is that reason? What is that reason, Mark?
For going in there?
Yeah.
You got innocent people being slaughtered.
Okay, so everybody knew that. That was well documented.
Right. So you had talks that broke down that they had
well documented.
They still had ambitions to go
you're telling
put
me
on ballistic missiles.
You're telling me legacy media hasn't told you anything, but yet you know all of this. How do you know all of this if they haven't told you?
Because I listen to Fox News and I listen to Facebook Reels.
Well, if you would have listened,
I watch on Dish. I can watch 8 stations at once. They have a multimedia station.
But
so I watch all that, and it's not on there.
Well, no.
Okay.
The fact is, it was. CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, they all reported on those